It's here. I wanted to pop on today. I don't usually do videos on Saturdays, but I felt like this was an important video to do. And I wanted to talk today about tongue tie releases for kids, for older kids, and also for adults. And the reason I'm doing this is because my children, who are 5 and 7 years old, and myself just had tongue tie releases done yesterday. We also all got our lip tie releases done as well on the same time. Um, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about what the procedure looks like for kids and for adults, and a little bit about what to expect because I have been working with moms and babies who have been getting tongue tie releases. And it's a little bit different when it's a baby versus a child or an adult. Um, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience for my kids and also the experience for me. So essentially, it was my son who went first because he's a little bit of our more sensitive guy. So he went first, then my daughter went, and then I went. And I was actually in the room with both of my kids while they were getting their releases, just being there to kind of help them to remain calm and relieve any anxieties. And also, I got to watch my first ever in person release, which is super exciting. And I totally nerded out. But the dentist who did our releases knew that I had a lot of training in tongue ties and in the airway space as well. And so he was more than happy to talk me through everything, which was really amazing to see. Also, just how much fascia got released for my kids, but also fascia and muscle got released for me. Okay. So let's start with my kids. So first of all, we decided to put my kids under sort of like a general kind of anesthetic. So they had to drink this like chocolate syrup stuff that kind of like didn't knock them out fully, but it kind of made them look like they were drunk, like they were very relaxed, couldn't walk, couldn't stand, really needed our help for pretty much everything, which was kind of fun to watch. Um, anyway, so they drank this little drink, and then that was really just to help them relax. And then the dentist did the lip tie first for everyone. That is a little bit more of it takes a little bit longer than the tongue tie. The lip tie is just a little bit more intricate. And I knew that going in, so that was fine. So we put a little bit of local anesthetic on, just like a little gel, like a numbing gel, on the site, on the frenulum, which is kind of like that little fascia string underneath the lip, and also injected a little bit of like numbing solution in there as well, just to really make sure that they weren't feeling anything. And then he did the release with a CO2 laser, which was really, really amazing to see. And so that was great for my kids. That was definitely something that was causing them a little bit of anxiety. But the dentist and his sort of dental kind of assistant um, really made sure to make it fun. They really made sure to be cognizant of not passing any instruments over top of the eyes. And so it was like they had all these little tips and tricks, like lifting your head up to the ceiling while they passed the tool over underneath the eyesight, right? So that we didn't increase any anxiety. So that was really cool and really amazing. And then we did the lip tie release, which did take probably like 20 to 30 seconds. So it was a little bit more sort of invasive. So releasing a little, lifting the lip, releasing a little more, lifting the lip, releasing a little more, lifting the lip, really making sure to get the fascia release done. And I'm going to show you guys my lip release here, so if you're going to be grossed out, then don't watch this part. So you can see. Oh, no, you can't see. I don't have good lighting here. Hang on. Let me turn. So you can see in there how it is released. Here, there was a very, very tight frenulum, and I had quite a bit of frenulum there. And actually what that was doing is it was pushing and pulling on my gums, so that when I smiled before, my gums would literally like go up here and show all of my gums. So I had a very gummy smile. So that was part of it. And then for my kids, same thing. So they released quite a bit under the lips, and now we can really just see how loose that is? It's really nice and loose. So I can pull it out with no pain, no stress, no tension. And then for the tongue, again, that was also with the CO2 laser for my kids as well. Now, I will say that there was some anxiety for my kids during the procedure. And so there was some kind of like fear, um, and a little bit of like, no, don't do that, or like crying. But having experienced myself, I can tell you 100% it wasn't because of pain. What I suspect it was because of is that when you get your tongue numbed or your lips numbed, it feels weird. So think about when you've gone to the dentist and you have gotten something numbed, whether it's your gums for like some kind of work on your teeth or, something else. And if you get a little bit of that numbing stuff on your tongue by accident and your tongue numbs, it feels a little bit weird. It feels kind of thick and heavy and like you can't move it properly and it kind of feels like in the way. And so that I think is what was the scary part because they have never felt that before. They haven't needed to get their tongue or their lip or any kind of gums or any kind of numbing in their mouth in general. And so that was the scary part because I will tell you that when I got my procedure done after my kids, there was no pain. I was not feeling anything. And with my tongue tie procedure, it was a little bit different. The dentist used both a CO2 laser and scissors. And the reason he did that is because we actually did a functional release, which is what is recommended for adults as well. And that allows him to initially get everything kind of opened up with the CO2 laser and then to really cut more intricately and more specifically with the scissors to get the fascia, to get really everything opened up. And for me, it was more than just fascia under there. He actually cut muscle and things away as well. Because I don't know if you guys remember, and I'll post a picture as well, but when I lifted my tongue to my palate, I could do the tongue cave before the release. But the entire floor of my mouth came along with it, and all the musculature came along with it. And so when he cut my frenulum, which is fascia, but also they have started to notice that sometimes it is thicker and there's a mucosal layer and there's also sometimes muscle involved. And so mine had muscle involved, which is why I couldn't open my mouth very wide. B, when I did open my mouth wide, so dental work was always hard for me, but when I did open my mouth wide, all of the musculature here would also be very tight and activated. And now I will tell you that during the procedure, my jaw was so sore because I had to keep my mouth open and my tongue up. And I was using all of these muscles. And as he was doing the release, and it took probably about 45 minutes to do the release properly because we took breaks and we kind of reassessed. And then at the end, he put sutures under my tongue. So I'll just show you guys what that looks like. So again, if you get grossed out easily, don't watch this. You can see it's a little bit swollen, but my tongue moves up very much more easily. The whole floor of my mouth does not come with it anymore. It is a little bit swollen today because we are just post one day post release. So we had our releases last night. So actually less than 24 hours ago. But you can see that I'm talking pretty normally. Like there is a little bit of sort of swelling and inflammation. So my tongue feels a little bit weird. The other thing that feels very weird is even though I could do the tongue cave and get my tongue all the way to the roof of my mouth, at least in the front, I couldn't get the back of my tongue up. And after the release, I could get the tongue up. And actually during the release, my entire jaw started to really just relax and everything felt easier to open in terms of opening my mouth. And then even like all down here just feels so much more soft and relaxed. And that's pretty cool. And I'm sure that the benefits are just going to keep going. But one of the cool things and sort of weird things is that now I can actually feel my entire tongue up on the roof of my palate when I'm at rest and when I'm sleeping. And that feels kind of weird. And that's really what should have been happening for this whole time. But now that I can feel it in the back, I'm like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. So that is kind of interesting as well. And so for me right now, they've told me don't start doing any sort of major stretches or wound care activities until day 3, which is Monday. But I am allowed to do the tongue cave and this movement to get my tongue moving, because this is a really important part after tongue tie releases, is to get everything moving, to get that tongue strengthened, because it feels kind of weird. So my kids are totally fine today. We did find some children's Tylenol. And so we are doing pain management every 6 hours just to stay on top of the pain. But I will tell you that by doing that, we are not feeling any pain. And so I am doing the wound care stretches for them because we really want to keep that wound open. We want it to heal in that open position. And so part of that is really educating my kids also, why do we need to do these stretches? Why do we need to do them? Because my kids aren't freaked out because of the pain. My kids are freaked out because there's a hole in their tongue, to be quite honest. Like, it looks weird, right? And that's going to eventually heal up too. But we really want it to heal in that diamond position. Just like the tongue here has that diamond, or the lip has that sort of diamondy position. We want that to be under the tongue too. And we want it to heal in a very sort of like a narrow diamond vertically, so that we really know that it is healing as open as possible. So I did take a video of my kids, and I will add it and hopefully figure out how to link it to this video as well, doing their different exercises, because we have started those today. We are doing them 4 times a day. And at this point, because my kids sleep through the night, we don't have to do them at night, but I will do a very deep stretch in the morning for them. So just making sure that any kind of reattachment that is happening overnight is kind of getting detached and opened up in the mornings. So that is our plan for the first week. And then we'll be doing various other stretches for 2 to 3 weeks after that, for a total of 3 to 4 weeks, about 4 times a day. So I wanted to just share my experience, but this is essentially what babies go through as well. The crying that happens with babies is not because of pain. There is actually no pain during the release itself with the laser or anything like that. What is the weird part for babies is A, being held down, C, having people in your mouth. And also, if they use any numbing jelly on the site, that feels very weird. So hopefully that helps you guys if you're thinking about having a release done for yourself, for your babies, for your kids. If you are thinking about having a release done for your babies, I do have a Tips for Tots ebook that I have linked below this video to really just help you to plan for what to do before the release, when a release might be necessary, who to go to get really a full evaluation. It's not just looking in the tongue. It's not just, going to a pediatric dentist. I will tell you that this is the 3rd dentist that I have been to specifically to get assessed for tongue ties. And this is the one who said, yes, I believe you. Yes, we will do it. Yes, there's a lot going on. Okay. So keep asking questions, get a 2nd or 3rd opinion if you need to. But I do have the ebook, and the ebook goes through the wound care, and it goes through the various retraining of the tongue exercises and things that you can do with your baby as well. So that is it for me. I have gone over my 10-minute time limit here on this video, but I will come back and kind of keep you guys posted on the progress of my tongue tie release journey along with my kids as well. So that's it for me today. I will see you guys again next week. Bye for now.